So that was interesting. I would have been on time, but if it weren't for me trying to fucking experiment. But we're here. We're here. On William versus the World! We're back. We're back. Welcome back on a journey through the music space-time continuum. I made that up. But this is the music industry daily latest stories, ups, downs, turnarounds, ins and outs, twists and turns. Hey, you stop that. I got to get a hold of that. But this is William versus the World. This is my daily live stream about the music industry. And this is for independent artists, but I mean, you could be anybody. So I appreciate it if you share the stream because that's how people find us. And we're going to dive into the world once again, examining the music industry, of course, technology, social media, and fucking more. From the impact of big tech to the industry's latest trends and bends innovations, we'll explore it all. Grab your favorite device, a notebook if you would, and join us because it's another episode of William versus the World! Oh, yeah. I could do it longer than that. Don't look at me like that, yo. All right. Appreciate if y'all share the feed. If you could. What the fuck is this thing? Is the chat on? Yo, maybe I should look at this real quick. Hold on a second, y'all. I've been having a bunch of like crazy things happen to me with this today, so I just want to make sure that this is working. I don't have anybody. Think about that. I don't have anybody monitoring me. That's a scary thought. All right, hold on a second. I got this new... What the fuck is going on? Oh, no, it says I'm live. The chat hasn't been working. I mean, this whole thing has gone crazy. All right. I'm going to share it to myself. No, we got this under control. Just put like a 2 or something, or somebody say something, or call me on my phone if something's really wrong. Oh, that's nice of y'all. Thank you for being here. All right. I mean, we've talked about this kind of stuff before on some of the other podcasts and different live streams that we've done, but we've really never talked about it here. I think it's worth talking about. So, I mean, I didn't grow up on Lamb of God. I missed the bus. It wasn't till later that I discovered the awesomeness of Lamb of God. So put a 1 in the chat if you grew up on Lamb of God. I'm pretty sure like Melissa did though. And then naturally, like once I did discover them, I took a massive deep dive into Randy and, you know, his journey with screams and vocals, and that opened up so many other like fractal conversations and questions that I had about rock and roll and heavy metal in my own life. But I discovered Lamb of God just about the time that I started to try to play the guitar seriously. And when I heard Lamb of God, I wanted to quit fucking immediately. That's my story with Lamb of God. Like, I was, you know, practicing acoustic guitar. I can't recall what song it was, but it was a Lamb of God song. And I remember reading articles about the guitar players in Guitar World, and they were talking about like alternate picking and economy picking, and all this stuff was like completely, it sounded like nonsense to me at the time. But I was really trying to take myself serious and learn guitar. And when I heard Lamb of God play guitar, I was like, I just need to stop playing immediately. So that was my first experience with them. Yeah. Anyways, so this is a fun story. Singer, Randy, he says that he isn't a fan of people using their phones at shows. And he's quoted in saying, put your effing phones down and be present. And you know how these memey, bloggy, rumor mill, heavy metal memesters are. These meme mags. They're like TMZ, like Metal Injection and Blabbermouth and Hammerhead and whatever they call themselves now. But they're all just kind of like, they all kind of copy each other, and they mimic each other and run around and hijack each other's rumor mill stories. They're all the same. Loudwire, Blabbermouth, Metal Injection. They're kind of just like phony baloney meme style goof mags. It's really hard to take any of this shit seriously. But it's mostly like he said, she said, rumor mill stuff, gossip. Metal Injection is a fucking gossip blog. So when they say this, you know, you're supposed to feel a certain way. But just for fair warning. So, you know, the way that they title these things, I'm sure you guys understand now that this is for advertising, and like they use clickbait English to try to get people excited. So I just wanted to say that I thought that was interesting, the way it's presented. But there's a deeper conversation here. So Randy Blythe, I think that's the way you say his name. Again, I didn't grow up on Lamb of God, so I apologize if I'm getting that wrong. But says, and I watched the interview, he really isn't really a fan of people using phones at their shows. And I think that that's cool, hearing it from someone with his experience, with his history on stage, and plus, you know, his backstory with his bands and everything that they've been through. So he's no stranger to speaking his mind, and he says here, quote, put your fucking phones down and be present, you know? And I don't hate on him, because he's addressing his own fans. It's not like he's yelling at the Swarmies. Just the same, I know Swarmies definitely love them some Lamb of God. So if you go to a Lamb of God show, this is what's expected. All right. People using their phones and filming at shows has been controversial for years, with folks like Tool's Maynard James Keenan being vocally opposed to the practice. Now you can add Lamb of God vocalist Randy Blythe to be those against it. In an interview with Kyle Meredith, Blythe said for fans to out their frickin' phones. That's really different for me. I'm going to redo that because I don't talk like that, so it's very hard for me to understand what that was about. All right. Blythe said for fans to out their frickin' phones down and be present. Is that a typo? Is that a typo? Anyway, later noting how ridiculous it is that anyone is filming shows at all. That's what he says. Quote, put your frickin' phones down and be present, he says. I haven't done this yet, he goes on, but I'm going to. As the phones come out more and more and more, I'm going to walk out one day at a particularly phone-driven show, and I'm going to bring a stool, and I'm going to set it down in the middle of the stage after a song or two, and then I'm going to turn on my phone, and I'm going to point it at the audience, and I'm going to sit there and I'm going to sing a whole song. He goes on, I'm not going to move. I'm going to do what they do, meaning the fans. He goes on, and then at the end, I'm going to say, did you people enjoy that? No? Well, I didn't either. So why don't we be here together? Put your frickin' phone down. The memories that you're going to have because you're experiencing this show through this digital filter or whatever of a crappy cell phone video. He goes on to say to the fans that they're not Steven Spielberg. Well, more on that in a second. Quote, sit here and enjoy the show with me, he says. Be here with me because that's how it was when I started going to shows. Except for, thank God, those people back in the 80s who were photographer nerds. The weird people, there was always one or two with a camera who would take pictures, and thank God for them, because they documented things. I love concert photographers, man. Is he talking about concert photographers? They're not weird. Anyway, if it wasn't for concert photographers, we'd be fucked. Yo, shout out to concert photographers. What the hell? But everybody else was present, and people are missing it nowadays by viewing the show through a tiny iPhone screen. He says, be here with me. Blythe was later asked why he doesn't take a tool type of approach and ban phones from Lamb of God shows. Blythe said that his band probably wouldn't be down with it, later noting that he's not specifically anti-phone. It's just that fans should maybe be more mindful of their usage, which the author thinks is fair here. The author here thinks that that's fair. So, I also thought about it. My band probably wouldn't be down with it. It would be totally great if there were no cell phones at shows. Because these things, they are warping the shape of our reality in a horrific way across the board, he adds. Quote, I'm not lewd tight. I'm not a lewd tight. I don't know what that word means, everybody, so I apologize if we'll get to that. I've never heard of that, so I apologize if it's somehow like some weird offensive thing. I don't know what it is yet. A lewd tight? Never heard of that before. I'm not anti-technology, he says. Clearly, we're using it right now, but I think it would behoove us. He talks different, man. I'll give him that. It would behoove us to step back and examine our relationship with technology and see what's being taken from us, the human aspect, he continued. And he goes on to say, I'm just going to discuss music here. It's certainly removed that human aspect in a lot of ways from shows at times. He says, I'm certainly not like, oh, nobody can take a picture. I'm not that guy or whatever, he goes on. But it's really disturbing to me how much people are missing, Randy added. You are, in fact, missing the show. You're not here. You're looking into your phone, bro, he says. When I went to shows, I was looking around and I wasn't looking at the band. He says, I was looking around at the cute chicks who were there. I mean, you really can't blame me for that. But nonetheless, he goes on, you're not going to get that on your cell phone. I beg to differ. I think that's why a lot of people have cell phones, is so they can sneak pictures of cute chicks, especially at concerts. He goes on to say, there is no swipe left or whatever in the middle of the show. Get off your phone, he said. Be here with us and meet people, talk, and have an experience. I beg to differ. I think a lot of people meet at shows and fall in love. I think a lot of people get accepted at shows, and a lot of people get rejected at clubs and bars and shows and stuff like that. When you ask people that use Tinder, or you ask people that use Plenty of Fish or dating sites, when those people are frustrated and they're looking for advice, everyone else tells them to go out to shows and go out to clubs and meet people and swipe right or left. It's really trivial. It's really trivial. There you have it. What do you guys think? What are you guys doing? What's up with you? Wait a minute. How is Melissa here? She's not even here. Like, Melissa's not with me. How is she here in the chat? So I had a couple of notes here I just wanted to share with you guys. So I thought about it, and what I thought is this unsobering, toxic reality that I came up with. And this might make some people uncomfortable. But I know we talk a lot about, I know we have the debate a lot about whether cell phones should be allowed in concerts, and to what intensity, into what virtue, into what, and God, love it. And I do understand it. And I'll give you my perspective after, because I don't think it's fair trying to imagine what it's like being a celebrity like Lamb of God and people having to record your music at concerts, versus or in comparison to a band like Sepsis, for instance. I think bands like Sepsis really depend on cell phones being at the concert, whereas if you're Kiss or Lamb of God, you probably don't want your fans recording your performances. So if you're in a small band and you're a modern band and you're depending on technology and social media to be discovered, then you definitely want your fans to be holding up their cell phones. To what intensity, to what value, we can customize that, and we can all get down to our own individual, wherever our comfortable space is with that. I think is going to be different for every performer. I think a lot of bands don't mind having a few songs being recorded and then maybe spending time with the band off the phone too. Like maybe record your favorite song and then spend some time in the show not on your phone. I think a healthy balance is a healthy balance of cell phone at the show, and taking pictures of your favorite bands and artists, maybe getting those highlight videos for social media the next day. I think there's a healthy balance. When people debate about how we should introduce or have cell phones play a part in the concert experience in the modern day, I really believe that cell phones are a part of the concert experience. From the minute you hear about the concert to when you leave the concert the following day and you upload your favorite pictures of your bands and friends in the event itself. I think that the cell phone plays a very important role for celebrities and independent bands when their fans bring their cell phones and interact with the bands. But that's my modern day approach, okay? Here's something else to consider. When it comes to people in their cell phones, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings here. I don't want to break anybody's heart or hurt anybody's feelings, but this is a wake-up call for musicians. Are you ready? While we're all debating about the ethics and the frequency or intensity of how people participate with cell phones at live events. I want you to keep this in mind. People want their fucking cell phones more than they want concerts. Okay? Let's get one thing clear. Human beings have gotten to a point, whether you like it or not, human beings want their cell phones before they want concerts. If you told the modern day person now, hey, look, if you don't put your cell phone down, we're going to take your concerts away. You can bet for sure people want their cell phones before they'll ever go to another concert again. So don't try to hold people hostage to that. I'm going to keep it a bean. So I don't want to break anybody's heart. I know a lot of you guys are desperate, dreamy musicians out there, and you think this is all about music, and I wish it was. But I'm here to burst your bubble. People would much rather keep their phones than to see you play in concert ever the fuck again. And that's not bad news. That's a place where you need to start your strategy. Another thing, the modern day human being would much rather have their cell phone than their own girlfriend. If you told people, hey, look, man, you get the girl or you can keep your cell phone. Most people keep their cell phones. If you told people, look, I'm going to take your girlfriend or I'm going to take your cell phone away from you. You're never going to see your girlfriend ever again. They won't tell you. A lot of these motherfuckers will keep the phone. Because the phone is the ignition key to more girls. People, if you gave people the choice to choose between their cell phones or their friends and their jobs, they'll keep their cell phone. You heard? If you somebody's friend out there, you better look at your buddy sitting right next to you. Because chances are the information, the secrets, the relationships, the double and triple lives that people lead, the double and triple lives that people lead on their cell phones is more important to the fake personality that's sitting next to you. People's secret and personal identities are on the phone, and that's more important to those people than your friendship would ever be. Given the ultimatum to choose between keeping their cell phones, the secrets and the information on it, versus keeping their job, people keep their cell phones. People would also choose their phones and cell phones and social media accounts over family and pets. That's because people believe that their personal cell phone is an extension of themselves. You see? Their secret selves. People believe that their personal cell phone is an extension of themselves. That's why people whine and throw temper tantrums when they don't have it. Because they feel like they lost a piece of themselves. They don't feel like they're in control of their lives anymore. You understand? The only thing, okay, that rivals the addiction and the obsession with modern day man and our mobile devices, the only thing that mirrors that addiction is drugs. The only thing that the only thing that is equivalent to the desire and the obsession with our individual mobile devices, the only thing you can compare it to is like drugs and sex. But here is the scary part. even though we can kind of like make comparisons to drugs and sex in terms of mobile devices and social media, if given the opportunity, most people still pick the phone because, again, people going to need their phones to get drugs and sex. You feel me? Let's take to the chat. Hans says, I've been to hundreds of shows and seen over 100 artists in my life. Pulling out the cell phone is really not hip. I think that that's kind of cool to talk about a little bit because if you guys don't know, like Hans Smith likes to record performers. So I think that that's important to just think about. Even he's saying that, like, when you go to shows, you really got to, like, I think it's fun. Like, if you know the band and you're doing it for the band and all of that other stuff, I think it's okay. Scott says, oh, are you not feeling well, bro? Oh, man. So Joseph says, Nicki Minaj said something similar the other day at her tour. She brought fans on stage and took their phones and said, stop filming live in the moment. Huh. Wow. I'm seeing here, get well, Scott. Scott, you're not feeling good? Oh, I hope you're feeling better, but let's put some cheers for homie Scott. Some extra energy in your air, some extra electricity. Shit. I'm really sorry to hear that. I have a confession. That is, I was like a little tired earlier, and like I was contemplating taking some personal inventory. I thought maybe like I really had to check myself. Like, am I exhausted? Do I want to do the podcast? So, you know, every now and then we got to take some you time. Scott says, Will is telling the truth. It's sad, but it is true, especially being a parent. If you take away a phone or a computer from your child, you see the addictive behavior. The reaction is the same from a drug addict or alcoholic. Brother, I'm telling you, I've never seen it happen with and here's the crazy part. We used to talk about this, Scott, like it was only kids. Like, you know what I mean? Like you mentioned here, you know, if you take away a phone from a child, take away phones from the adults. You see, the children don't even have secret lives yet. The children don't have, you know, they're not double dating. They're not double dipping. The kids don't have these layers and layers of personalities and lies and different cliques and people-pleasing circles. Fucking 30, 40, 25, 55-year-old people, they've got layers and layers and layers of fucking personalities and different lives and different hobbies and friends that can't hang out with other friends and secret fucking shit. You know what I'm saying? So when you take away a grown person's mobile device, you really see him panic. Take away a grown-up's mobile phone. Watch it. Hide that motherfucker on them for 15 minutes and watch how they act. They act like something, like they're about to get caught for something. Seriously, take away somebody's phone for a couple minutes. Somebody you trust, somebody that trusts you. Watch them peel. Watch them act like they lost a bag of blow. For real. For real. People, grown adults, when they misplace their phone, they act like they misplaced evidence. And that's because they did. People believe that their cell phones are rights. You know what I mean? Like people believe that their cell phones are birthrights. We're fucking psychopaths, man. The whole fucking bunch of us. It's not just y'all. It's me too. It's all of us. And every time that we think it's somebody else, You know what I mean? We really, it really reinforces my point of how fucked up we are individually. Shit's fun, right? People grabbing and hiding their phone when they can get notifications. I know. And everyone's wondering why they're so anxious all the time. It's because right when you wake up, you're being assaulted with expectations. It's funny. So you have all these secret personalities, you know what I mean? You got the secret girlfriend. I don't have secret girlfriends. I don't do secret shit. You know what I mean? I don't pretend to be a good citizen. I don't do all the stuff that people do in society. Most of society is all counting on each other, you know, to be better than each other. I don't give a fuck about that type of shit. I watch everybody stumble and fumble ass over tea kettle trying to put on a fucking act and performance for society. I laugh at the whole thing. It's fucking hilarious. If you work on computers already, you know what I mean, and you've been a creator your whole life, and you've done some acting, or you've been to prison, and you've got your ass kicked a couple of times, you know better than this shit. It's only the fools that got their nose buried in it like that don't know the difference. Yeah, man. The moral of the story is just don't put on an act. The less skeletons you have in your closet, you ain't gonna be worried if somebody finds your phone, fool. Just don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't get caught telling lies and bullshit on the internet. You put your foot in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like the great DTS have always said, no fish would ever be caught if he didn't open his mouth. So shut the fuck up. That's it. That's it. And you see people that get depressed with that sort of advice. If that type of advice depressed you, then you got some time to grow. You're still if that kind of advice depresses you, well then look. You're just a work in progress, son. It's not bad news. That just means we got stuff to do. Let's do another story. Universal Music Group and Meta ink a new global deal covering Facebook, Instagram, and what's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Facebook Record. No, I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's like social media is really turning into a record label, like I predicted 5 years ago. Hans, remember, you guys? Of course, people call me a narcissist because I'm right. Anytime that I'm right about something, somehow, I turn into a big villain. But this is the thing. I predicted this, a long time ago. And I said that, YouTube's going to try to be cable. Cable's going to try to be the internet. I said that Instagram's going to try to be TikTok. TikTok's going to try to be QVC. I said this, and I said the global legacy holders, the global legacy labels, I said would join forces with social media, and social media would become more like record labels, and record labels would become more like social media. Do you remember me saying this, or do I have to dig out 500 podcast episodes and show you guys reels that I've already showed you? Because we've talked about this already. It's just a matter if you want to ignore me or not. And in that sense, bye. But that's it. I said this 5 years ago. I'll say this again. I used to work with Facebook and meet with them regularly and talk about the future of music. And they used to pay me to sit down with them a lot and talk about artists, independent artists on Facebook. And there was a good amount of time that these guys, I'm not saying that they inherited ideas from me. What I'm saying is I know a time myself, along with hundreds, if not thousands, of other bands and artists and creators, was meeting live in person with Facebook to better understand how artists and musicians work on Facebook. So this is no surprise to me. Facebook parent company Meta and Universal Music Group have signed an expanded global multi-year deal. Say that a few times. UMG said in a press release on Monday, August 12th, that the new deal will, quote, further evolve the creative and commercial opportunities for Universal Music Group artists and Universal Music Group publishing songwriters across Meta's global network of platforms, including Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, Horizon, Threads, and for the first time, WhatsApp. I mean, this means if you're not in Universal Music Group or you're not one of their artists, that means they don't really give a fuck. The inclusion of Meta's instant messaging service, WhatsApp, means that its users can now share licensed music from Universal Music Group artists within the app. Aren't you guys excited about that? What the fuck is that noise? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, April, May, la, 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 la. What the fuck is that? Hey, 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 hey. That was weird. Could you hear that? Maybe I'm just hearing it in the headphones. It's like wind. You heard that? Oh, there it is. What is it, though? Hey, hey, hey. Yo, yo, yo. The fuck? Maybe it's the wire. That's annoying. I think it's gone. Hey, 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 hey. Motherfucker. Sounds good to me. Yo, yo, yo. All right. Where the fuck was I? No, I fucked up. UMG said on Monday that its partnership with Meta to license music for WhatsApp unlocks, quote, a new value for Universal Music artists and songwriters of the future that belong to Universal Music Group. It's not like this shit is good for anybody else. Like, who else gets this privilege? Nobody. Plus, as the only thing you know about this is Universal Music Group artists get a really cool tool and you get nothing. If you're a regular independent artist or you're not on Universal Music Group, I guess you don't get anything. So that's good for them. Plus, as a part of their new partnership, Meta and Universal Music Group said that they would work together to, quote, address, among other things, unauthorized AI-generated bullshit that could affect artists and songwriters that are on Universal Music Group. Today's announcements comes with 2 weeks after Universal Music Group specifically referenced Meta in the music company's calendar quarter 2 earning results covering the 3 months to the end of June. With those quarterly results, which saw Universal Music Group's overall revenues up 9.6, go figure, Universal Music Group announced that its ad funding streaming revenues have declined slightly, down 3.9 year over year. Part of the reason for that decline, explained Universal Music Group's CFO Boyd Muir, was that Meta stopped licensing premium videos for Facebook from UMG in May. That decision from Meta, he said, was due to the high-end music videos proving less popular with Facebook's user base than other music products. The multifaceted renewal is now signed and sealed and delivered, with UMG and Facebook jointly stating today in a media release, the new agreement expands monetization opportunities for you. Well, let me just put it to you this way. The new agreement expands monetization opportunities for Universal Music Group and its artists and songwriters, not you. even further with short-form video, building on Meta and UMG's joint track record of innovation and collaboration. To sum that up, ladies and gentlemen, Universal Music Group has lost some potential revenue from Meta due to the latter company's decision to stop licensing premium videos on Facebook. But the fresh agreement announced today appears to have created a new era and revenue possibilities for Universal with short-term video and very possibly from the additional licensing of UMG's catalog to WhatsApp. So I know you guys are really excited for that. Probably not. Yeah. What y'all think about that? Facebook Records, anybody? Signed to UMG to get WhatsApp promo. Boring. That's it. TikTok has their own charts. Twitter has their own charts. Like, y'all are not Billboard. Yeah, and can I tell you something? And Billboard isn't shit either. Billboard, if you know anything about Billboard or how Billboard got started, they're just a pamphlet company. Billboard is a flyer company that later on really got its magic and mystique from releasing rich boy tastemaker jukebox charts at the end of the magazine. It wasn't anything big. It's just rich boys saying what type of music that they like. And we don't really give a fuck what they're talking about around here. Nah, the Billboard charts, along with the Grammys, is just rich boy clubs that have tastemakers and people telling them what to listen to. I don't give a fuck. Put it to you this way. Let's look right now. Let's do just for fun. Let's take a look. Top 100 Billboard songs right now. Let's do it right now. Okay? Let's do this shit. Let's do it. Let's fucking do it. This is how I can prove to you that Billboard, this is how I can prove to you that people don't even listen to it. So Billboard is supposed to be an important company in our lives. Tomorrow I will show you guys where Billboard came from and who runs Billboard and who they are and why they're not important. But for today, just so you know, Billboards, all they are is a flyer company. Just like those cheap weekend inserts that you have in the city that people throw on the fucking table at the venues. Billboard is no different. They don't play instruments. They can't shred better than you. They don't have better taste than you. You will never meet these people. They're not friends of yours. They're never going to smoke a joint with you. We don't even know if they listen to the music that they're talking about. But here's what I can show you. I don't need Billboard. I don't need Ronald McDonald. I don't need any big corporations or Spotify. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys listen to Shaboozey, a bar song. Let's do it together, everybody. Put a 1 in the chat if you listen to Shaboozey, okay? I don't know what this is. I'm not making fun of it. Here's my score. 2. I don't listen to Shaboozey. I ain't never fucking heard of it. I don't care about it. I'm not mad at it. I hope it stays on Billboard. There's no bad blood. I'm just showing to you why I don't give a fuck about Shaboozey, and I'm proving to you why I don't care about what Billboard is talking about. Billboard doesn't listen to Scarecrow Hill. I don't give a fuck about Billboard. So when people say, oh, I'm on Billboard, I go, so? So what? Like, who when people say that they go on Billboard, I say, so the fuck what? Who listens to music from Billboard? Put a 1 in the chat if you listen to Shaboozey. I don't even know what the fuck it is. What is it? Who knows? Nobody fucking knows. So why would Billboard be important? Why would we consider anything that they say? I don't listen to Shaboozey, and neither do you. Have you ever heard the song I Had Some Help? Post Malone featuring Morgan Wallen. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm sure they're all important people. I don't know one fucking song from Post Malone, and this could be a great guy. I don't know who these people are. Have you ever heard the song I Need Some Help by Post Malone and Morgan Wallen? I don't know a fucking thing about these people, no more than anyone has heard of me or Melissa Wolf. Proving, once again, I have to put a number 2 in here. Put a 1 in the chat if you've heard the song, or you like the song, or you're a fan. I don't know what the fuck it is. Put a 1 in the song. Put a 1 in the chat if you have heard Post Malone featuring Morgan Wallen. Hey, I'm probably a fucking idiot. I don't know either one of these fucking guys, so I'm going to have to put it 2. I've never heard this shit in my fucking life. I've never heard of Morgan Lambert or whatever the fuck. I've never heard of it. I'm not saying anything negative. What I'm trying to prove to you is that Billboard has done nothing to improve the quality of music in my life. I don't listen to Billboard, and I'm proving that none of you guys do either. Why would we listen to Billboard give a recommendation on anything? They're a flyer company. They're bums. It's not like they play violin. Let's go. Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar. Now look, I do know what the song is, and I'm not trying to be cliche. Let me put a 1 in the chat. I put a 1 in the chat. That's my first one. I'm keeping record here. Look, keeping record. That's 1. Now here's the thing. I need you to understand. Here's the thing so Joe's heard of it too. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Growing up on hip hop and rap music and stuff like that, I do stay plugged into like the hip hop and rap news and stuff like that. So I do happen to know of the song. However, I gotta be real with you. It's not really my kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's not really my taste in rap music. It's not something that I would play. I don't like Drake. I don't like Kendrick Lamar. I don't care if they're mad at each other. I don't care if they punch each other in the face. I don't think either one of them are rappers that I'm going to listen to. So I put a 1 because I know what it was. But if Billboard is any indication of the music that we should be listening to, I would never listen to Kendrick Lamar for any reason other than the drama that I happen to see across the screen. If it wasn't dramatic and he wasn't arguing with fake Drake, then I probably never even would have heard of it. I'm not a Kendrick Lamar fan. I don't like this song, Not Like Us. I don't care what they're arguing about. I have no interest in any of these bummy rappers. All right, next. Put a 1 or 2 if you guys have heard of or are a fan of or whatever. Even if you sympathetically heard the song or you happen to like it or you're a fan of it, everybody put a 1 in the chat if you have heard of the song Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter. I don't know who the fuck these people are. So if Billboard is any indication of who we should be listening to in society, then I am unplugged. Because to me, this is like walking down the street in Manchester, where we're from, or Portsmouth, or Nashua. If I walk down the street where I'm from and I ask people, hey man, have you ever heard of Lena Scissorhands or Stitched Up Heart or Sepsis? They're going to say no. Just the same here. If you ask me who the fuck Tommy Richards, Teddy Swims, or Sabrina Carpenter is, I have no fucking clue. So if Billboard is any indication of who we need to care about in society for musicians, they're doing a bad job. Why would I care what Billboard has to say? As an artist, I would never even want to be affiliated with Billboard because it's so phony. I've never heard of these artists. So what would it do for me? If Billboard can't help Espresso, Sabrina Carpenter, why would it be good for a no-name rock band? This is why I laugh at no-name local rock bands that want to be on Billboard. Because, dude, if I show you Billboard, you've never heard of Sabrina Carpenter. Put a 1 in the chat if you've heard of Sabrina Carpenter and you're a fan of Espresso. I've never heard of this shit. It gets a big fat 2. I've never heard of it. I don't ever want to hear it. Who else? Who else? Billboard doesn't teach me what to like. Nobody teaches me what to like. Nobody tells me what kind of girls I'm into. Nobody tells me how to date, how to fuck, how to cook. Nobody tells me shit. I'm not one of those people that wait around for people to tell them what to do or what to like. Billboard is for those people. Spotify it creates algorithms and it tells dumb motherfuckers what to like. I go and find shit I like. Put a 1 in the chat if you motherfuckers have heard of $1 Million Baby Tommy Richmond and his song. Look at the photo sucks. Nothing against this guy. This photo's terrible. This doesn't even look as good as a SoundCloud artist. The images here are crappy. I would never, based on none of the images, none of the song titles, I don't want to look at none of these people. I have no interest in them. This is the top 5 Billboard charts in the world, and I have not heard of 5 of them. 4 of them. 4 of them I never even heard of. I've never heard a Post Malone song in my life that I know about, or Morgan Wallen. I don't even know what that is. I told you, I did happen to sympathetically, inherently hear the Kendrick Lamar song. I did hear it. I don't really care for it. It's okay. But like he's shitting on some other rapper that sucks. To me, you get no points for battle rapping shitty rappers. One shitty rapper battle rapping another shitty rapper. Boo! Both you motherfuckers can't rap. And then you go on to Espresso, Sabrina Carpenter. Look, she looks like a lovely lady. I've never heard of this lady, and that's that. There's nothing I can even say. I don't even know what type of genre the music is. I don't even by looking at the picture, I can't even get an idea. So just by the image alone, I would never look at this. $1 Million Baby. This looks like many kids that I grew up with that just could never get themselves a nice camera phone. I would try to say Tommy Richmond. I don't even know what type of music this is. I want nothing to do with it. How about this one? Put a 1 in the chat if you guys listen to Lose Control by Teddy Swims. I've never fucking heard of these people. This is what I'm supposed to listen to. I'm an American guy, and when I need to find out what the hot trends are, I'm supposed to go to Billboard, and they're going to tell me, they're going to recommend to me Lose Control by Teddy fucking Swims. No disrespect. Look, the image is an empty chair. That's exactly the feeling that I get. That is the motherfucking motivation that I have to listen to that shitty music. Fuck you, Teddy. See? It's not just people don't just tell independent artists to fuck off. There's people like me that absolutely would never give this shit a shot. Just based on how lousy our record and reputation has been with companies like Billboard. It's just a flyer company that jacks off gadgets and gizmos when they come out. So like when jukeboxes came out, all they did is hijack the technology and start putting rich boys' opinions in the back of the magazine. Beat it. All right, let's go. Let's put a 1 in the chat. Have you guys heard of Too Sweet Hosier? I never heard of it. Good Luck Babe, Chapel Roan. I've never heard of it. I've never seen her. I've never heard of it. I'm not special because I haven't. I'm just saying I've never heard of it. By default, the default setting is Billboard has the top 10, and I've heard of none of them. I never feel bad about being an independent artist because I've never heard of these motherfuckers. Birds Like a Feather, Billie Eilish, coming in at number 10. The only reason why I know about Billie Eilish is because she's always in the news. I couldn't tell you or hum a lyric to one of her songs. Beautiful Things, Benson Boone, never fucking heard of him. I never heard of it. Put a 2 in the chat. Here's somebody else. Who? Isn't that somebody else's band? Who? The Who? Who? I don't even know who it is. There was a guy, there was supposed to be a band at Rockfest called The Who. Then you have The Who. Now here's Who? Who? Then you got Lies, Lies, Lies. I never heard of him. Morgan Wallen, he's back on the charts at number 13. He's on the fucking charts twice before we hit 20, and I never heard of him. Ain't No Love in Oklahoma. Luke Combs, never heard of it. Cowgirls, Morgan Wallen. I've heard of him now just because he's been in the Billboard charts. Apparently, we like country now. Pink Skies, Zach Bryan, Post Malone, same person, like that. Damn, the only person I ever known here was Eminem. Coming in at 20. Look, guys. SZA, Zach Bryan. Honestly, I've never heard none of the music from none of these people. None of them. And I don't care to. I've never heard of them. Billboard says that these are the biggest artists in the world. And I'm showing to you, I'm proving to you that we can stop listening to Billboard because not me, not you, not anyone here, even in my own city, has heard of Sepsis. And I have never heard of who the fuck is. Look. Check it out. Let's pick anybody. We'll just pick any fucking body. It doesn't even matter. Dasha. I've never heard of this bitch. Look at her legs. All I know is her legs. Dasha. Has anybody heard of Dasha? Has anybody heard of Austin? I've never heard of him. Zach Bryan featuring Casey Musgraves? I've never heard of him. High Road with Joseph Murph and Cole Wetzel? I've never heard of these motherfuckers. Billboard is supposedly supposed to be the place where all the cool kids hang out in music. However, I'm proving to you, Billboard doesn't know shit about music because they're offering as tastemakers a bunch of people that none of us ever listen to. They're saying that this is the top choice. This is the cream of the crop for American music. But there's nobody in the fucking chat that can vouch for it. Hot to Go, Chapel Roan. Who the fuck is that? Have you ever even heard of these fucking people? I've been a musician for fucking 35 years. Wannabe Glorilla Megan Thee Stallion. Honestly, the only thing I know about the Stallion lady is she had the song about vaginas or whatever. You know what I mean? Which I mean, shoot, everybody loves that, right? Taylor Swift. Finally, I know somebody. Fortnite by Taylor Swift. I know who it is. I can't really say anything bad about Taylor Swift. I don't think she makes terrible music. I joke sometimes that I'm a Swiftie, but I really don't know any of her music, or I can't really say anything about her that is bad. And I don't know anything about Post Malone. But I'm saying at number 28 on the Billboard, honey, this is not a very recognizable tastemaker section. Pour Me a Drink. Post Malone has been on this. I'm going to have to go listen to a Post Malone song after this because I've never, if you said hum one Post Malone song, I can't. I don't know what he looks like. I don't know what instrument he plays. I don't know, everybody's got a superpower. Somebody put in Post Malone's superpower. He must have one because he's on Billboard 50 fucking times. I've never seen a music video with this guy in it. Never. But that's just me. Stick Season. Have you guys ever heard of that? I haven't. We Can't Be Friends. Ariana Grande. I know who that is. My kids grew up with Ariana Grande, so I know all about that. Billie Eilish is the same. I understand that. These two, that's like Britney Spears and what's the other girl name there? Miley Cyrus and Billie Eilish and Ariana Grande's and all of that. I got that. Okay. For MGK and Jelly Roll, okay? Here we go. I think MGK is a terrible fucking rapper. I always have. But the Jelly Roll guy, we just opened up for him in Rockfest, and I thought his set was really good. You know what I mean? It was the first time I ever really, I've ever experienced that kind of music before. You know what I mean? I'm not a huge country fan or anything, but being in rock and roll and blues, you gotta love and have respect, for country and gospel. And I really enjoyed Jelly Roll live. But prior to that performance, I'm gonna be real with you, I never even knew who Jelly Roll was. Karol G, Benson Boone, Jelly Roll again, Taylor Swift. I mean, we go. You guys get the picture. Some of us are in our 30s and 40s and 50s here on the page, and we can go through half of the Billboard Top 100, and we don't even know who the fuck it is. Shit is crazy. SZA is a beautiful singer. Again, I've never heard. I thought it was a rapper like the RZA or the Jizza or the Old Dirty Bastard, Inspect the Deck, You God, and that's what I thought it was, the RZA and the Jizza. That's what I thought. I didn't know about these new characters. They got all these new unlockable characters. I know, but when somebody said, "Hey, do I like SZA?" I thought they were talking about the goddamn Wu-Tang Clan. I didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. Shit, any RZAs and SZAs and stuff like that, I know. You know what I'm saying? That's the Wu-Tang Clan. Somebody said, do I know about the SZA? I said, boy, what you know about the Old Dirty Bastard? You don't know about that. Stop fucking playing. His superpowers trucks. That's crazy. It's really, I wouldn't know. Really, I wouldn't know. I really wouldn't. I don't know none of the artists. I don't know none of those guys. I'm making a joke. You know what I mean? It's fun. Honestly, I really don't know any of those characters, and I'm not any more motivated to listen to their music because they're on Billboard. I think Billboard's full of shit, and I feel like I just proved it. I love music, and I know all you guys love music, and you guys don't love the idea of going to check out those artists. I know you don't. And our superpower is discovery here. You know, not on the page, but I know you guys support original and independent artists because you're here with me. You guys are doing the work. Having Billboard come and tell you what to like, or having Spotify tell you what to like, isn't doing the work. That's not doing the work. That's listening to rich boys tell you what their favorite tastes are. Listening to rich boys and girls, listening to rich people tell you what's cool. Fuck out of here with that. I don't listen to what rich people say. The billboards have never taught me about discovery in music at all. That's what Hans says. And I, you know, aside from the jokes and shit talk, you know what I mean, and criticism, Hans, you're right. I have never listened to anything on the billboards and gone, wow, this is my new favorite artist. Like, when's the last time you guys heard a Billboard artist and then you were like, wow, I'm going to start playing this all the time? Like, when? Just ask yourself. You don't have to tell me. I'm not trying to embarrass anybody. I'm just saying, ask yourself. Take personal inventory. When's the last time you've heard any of these fucking taste makers tell you what to listen to, and then you went out and listened to them, and then you loved it? The fuck out of here, man. That doesn't happen on Tinder. That doesn't happen in bands. Like, you know, when people are like, hey, man, this guitar player would be great for this band. No, the fuck they wouldn't. Why? Because the dude doesn't wash his socks. Why? Because the dude's got a bad mouth. Why? Because people don't go to sleep on the right time. Why? Because they can't be boyfriend and girlfriend. He doesn't like country music. And as soon as the light bill and the internet's due, motherfuckers are going to play country music and someone's going to get a black eye. That's why. What the fuck you talking about, bro? Clean up your act. Yo, it's Salvatore Pan in the building. What up? Thank you guys for sharing the stream. I really do appreciate that. It does help. You guys want to do one more story? We've got to put some music for Sal. Everybody, it's Salvatore Pan! Yeah, we got to do that. I feel like for staff members and band members, we definitely need to blow the horn. Thank you for hosting our stream. You guys are dope. Let's do a quick one. Oh, this is kind of funny. So, ADT data breach leaks customers' location and email addresses. Imagine that. Imagine you work for a security firm. Like, I feel bad, and I'm not making fun of you guys if you guys are ADT subscribers. I've always wanted to know what that stood for. Does anybody know what ADT stands for? Don't you Google. So I think it's just ironic. ADT, these companies that are supposed to protect us and firewalls and what's the new shit they do now? What the fuck is that dumb shit they do? VPNs and ADTs. Every time these guys make a new toy, they sell us 5 new security features we have to subscribe to even use it. You notice that? Every time these guys come up with a new luxury or some cool thing for us, it won't be long before they charge you extra to protect it. Like, what the fuck is up, man? So, like, this is a security firm. They're supposed to stop people from breaking into your safe spaces. ADT data breach leaks customers' location and email. Oh, that's great. Now ADT is not only sharing your email address, but they're actually telling you where to break in. Jesus. Some customers of ADT security equipment may have had personal information leaked onto the internet. Like, if that's not with every single thing, it just happened in Delta, it just happened with AT&T, it just happened with Instagram. Are you guys seeing this? It does, everywhere that you guys have put your information over the last 35 years, it eventually gets leaked. You guys have noticed that? Everywhere that we have shared our information, all of the apps, all of the websites, all of the devices, everybody that claims to make our lives fun, simple, luxurious, convenient, comfortable, and easy at every layer of this shit, at some point, they share all of our personal information. It starts off the same way every time. And then there's an article like this that says, oh, here's another company that we shared our information with online, and now they've shared it, or it's been leaked across the entire internet. This is the same story. All these legacy companies have the same story of gathering our information, courting us into buying these products, advertising, befriending us, pulling us in. We download the apps, we sign up to the subscriptions, and then before long, your shit's all over the internet. The home security giant acknowledged as much this week in an 8K filing with the Securities Exchange Commission for per bleeping computer? I don't know what the fuck that is. Hackers apparently got into ADT's system and stole limited customer information to post on hacking forums. Like that, like, this is a security firm. How are you going to have a security firm and the hackers apparently got into ADT's system and stole limited customer information? Quote, after becoming aware of the incident, the company promptly took steps to shut down the unauthorized access and launched an investigation. Oh, what the fuck? Partnering with the leading third-party cybersecurity industry experts. Who gives a fuck, man? What's done is done. According to ADT, they're ABCDEFG. It's just a bunch of bullshit. The information that was leaked was limited to email addresses, phone numbers, and postal addresses. Without giving any hard numbers, ADT claimed that only a small percentage of his customers were affected by the hack. I mean, does it even really matter? You guys are fucking embarrassing. That's fucking jaw-dropping and embarrassing that security firms can't even protect their customers. So, like, if I was subscribed to ADT, that would be the END, if you know what I mean. So that's my last story for the night. I appreciate all y'all spending time with me. I'll be back tomorrow for more music industry news, social media, and conversations about technology. I appreciate all of you for being here and sharing the streams and keeping up with the band. And now I'm going to go play Halo and smoke weed. Join me tomorrow for another episode of William versus the World.